Guys, what's up? JSFILMZ here, and welcome to part 1 of my video series titled Shooting with Blackmagic Micro Cinema Camera. The Micro Cinema Camera has a Super 16mm sensor with a crop factor of 2.88. Crop factor is very confusing to some people, but to keep it simple, take the focal length of whatever lens you have right now, multiply it by 2.88, and that is the field of view you will get with your camera. If you are still lost, then this tool I used during my Red camera days really helped me out, so check it out real quick. So basically, the thing in the gray here is the reference frame. It's the 35mm stills frame. Now, it's 35mm because back in the days, they only had a standard format of 35mm, which is full frame. So when the lens companies would make the lenses, they were meant for 35mm. So that's why we're referencing 35mm when comparing crop factors, because I'll show you here in a second. Take that 35mm reference frame, change the frame size. Since this is a Red website, it's not going to have the Blackmagic camera here in the drop down, but what you can do is look at the crop factor. Now, I said in the video that the crop factor is 2.88, so we'll just find something that is very close to that. So I said I found Red Dragon 3K HD is pretty close to the crop factor of the Blackmagic Micro Cinema Camera. So if you look here, this is your lens, this is your reference, and this is your actual field of view. The field of view that I was talking about is this. So you're actually just getting this small portion because the Micro Cinema's crop factor is 2.8. Now this is 2.62, but I just want you to see the difference. Now that we got that crop factor mess out of the way, we can now talk about lenses. Equipped with an active Micro Four Thirds lens mount, you can use a plethora of lenses with a Micro Cinema camera. Here are some that I would recommend. Wide angle range is quite challenging considering the camera's crop factor. The best wide angle Micro Four Thirds I've used is the Olympus M Zuica 12mm f2.0. The field of view comes out to be 33.6mm, so it's not wide per se, but I couldn't complain about this lens at all. It's lightweight, the aperture is 2.0, and the price is pretty reasonable, especially when bought used. For standard range, you can check out the Panasonic Leica 25mm 1.4 lens. Equivalent to about 70mm field of view, it's perfect for outdoors and in low light due to the 1.4 aperture. Telephoto range, you can take a look at the very affordable Sigma 60mm f2.8 lens. Equivalent to about 160mm on the Micro Cinema camera, it's perfect for wildlife videography or close-ups. This lens is actually part of the Art Series lenses from Sigma. If you aren't familiar with the Art Series lenses, you might want to check them out because they're pretty awesome. What if you have a lot of Canon lenses or Nikon lenses lying around and don't want to spend more money on Micro Four Thirds lenses? Metabones has a great solution for you. Just a heads up though, I'm a Canon guy, so I'll be talking about Canon lenses. Metabones created adapters that allows you to use your Canon EF lenses with your Micro Cinema camera. Even though the Metabones EF to BMPCC speed booster was made for the Pocket Cinema camera, I was still able to use it with my Micro Cinema camera. Just a caution, be careful when installing the Metabones to your Micro Cinema camera. Make sure you don't force it in because some people have reported the adapters breaking their cameras. You don't definitely want to break your new camera. Using the Metabones EF to BMPCC Speed Booster version 1 not only lets you adapt Canon lenses to the Micro Cinema camera, but it also reduces the camera's crop factor to 1.6 and adds 1 2/3 stops of light in. Pretty insane if you ask me. If you want to know more about these speed boosters, check out the Metabones websites for more info. Now, if the Metabones speed booster is expensive or you don't have money for it, there are cheaper adapters out there. Just make sure whatever you're buying is compatible with the Micro Cinema camera, and most importantly, check the feature it has because it might not have the aperture control or something like that. Just make sure you check first. That being said, here are the two EF lenses I currently use with my Micro Cinema camera. The first EF lens I use is the Tokina 11 to 16mm f2.8 lens. With the Metabones speed booster, the field of view turns into 17mm to 25mm and the aperture becomes a 1.8. Since the lens is quite older, it's the version 1, you can get some very great deals on this lens online. The next Canon mount lens I use is the Sigma Art 50 to 100 millimeter 1.8 lens. Field of view converts into 80 to 160 millimeter, and the aperture becomes a whopping 1.0 when using the Metabone Speed Booster. In my opinion, you cannot beat this lens at this price point. So there you go, the two lenses I use in my movies. Though there is another lens that I really recommend. I got rid of it since I upgraded to the 50 to 100 millimeter, but the Sigma Art 18 to 35 millimeter 1.8 is probably my favorite lens of all time. It is the best walk-around lens for me for stills and videography. So that's all I have for you guys today. Like always, let me know if you have any questions and stay tuned for more videos.